Shemai everyone, how are you all? Well, I'm back again. It's becoming a bit of a habit again now. And tonight I have created this, I cannot remember what it's called, but this fancy fold card. This is my original, but although I love the papers, I think it's too busy. It's not my usual style because there's quite a lot of colours and patterns on it. So I'm going to recreate it, but using some more muted colours. These papers are from the new catalogue, and I'm using Holly Jolly Christmas, the stamp set, and the framelets. I'm also using the stitched shapes dies. These are, I think these are retired now, but any sort of dies that you've got, because that's all I've used are the ovals and the squares from there, and not much else really. I'm using some papers from the Perfectly Plaid set. I stamped my Santa in Memento because if you're going to colour it with the Stampin' Blends, you will need Memento or Versamark. So I've used some Stampin' Blends. I've used the light Granny Apple Green and the dark Granny Apple Green. I've used light soft suede, bronze, and I've used dark crumb cake, ivory, dark and light cherry cobbler. This is dark daffodil delight, and for the belt I used just Stampin' Right in basic black. So as you can see this here, I have cut all my little pieces ready, and I've actually laid them out to remind me how I'm sticking them on my card. The piece of card I'm using here is 12 inches by 5.5, and first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to score it. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and I'm actually scoring at 2 inches, at 4 inches, at 8 inches, and at 10 inches. I'm not going to fold it yet. I've just scored it ready, because then I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I've got to know, if you put the edge of your card up to 1.5 inches, you are going to cut then from the 2-inch score line all the way across to the 10-inch score line. So here it goes. There we are. And then I spin it around. There might be an easier way of doing it, but this is the only way my brain can comprehend it. So I'm bringing the other end in to 1.5 inches, and I'm going to score then. So not score, I'm cutting once again the line between the 2 inches and the 12 inches. Now then, I've tried this many ways, and the easiest thing to do is to stick your card before you start folding it. So here we go. I'm going to use some Tombow, because then I can just wriggle it about. Now these pieces on here, I've got my little template here. They are 5.5 inches by 2 inches on the long side. What I'll do, I think, rather than try to read them out for you to write them down, I will leave my little template at the end in view for you to see. And what I just do, I tend to cut it a little smidgen under the measurements I've given you, just so I can get a little bit of a border around. So what I'm doing now, as you can see, is just sticking my pieces on. I've used 3 pattern papers here, and the nice thing is, because they are from the 6x6 pieces, you're not wasting any paper either. I hate wasting pieces of paper. I keep it all in my scrap box. So all I'm doing now is covering the back of the card, and then I will fold it. I think this one was a little bit of a leftover piece, so I've got slightly bigger border, but I won't tell anyone if you don't. As I say, I liked my original one, but I just felt that the patterns were too busy together. I think it's quite an old-fashioned sort of, it's quite nostalgic, I think, that pattern paper there. And I think there was just too much of it in one place for me. So there we are, last couple of pieces now to fill in. So the new Stampin' Up Occasions catalogue goes live I think the 1st or the 2nd of September, which is when you can start ordering from it. And I must say there are some lovely items in there. There we go. So once that's all stuck down, then we are going to do some folding, and they are mountains and valleys. So your mountains poke up and your valleys poke down. So first thing I'm going to do, this is a mountain fold, so I'm now just going to use my bone folder to give me a nice sharp crease. These are the ones that can be a bit more fiddly to fold because you're going to be going this valley, mountain, then valley again. It'll make sense when you see it. Then you're doing the opposite on this side. You're going mountain, valley, mountain, and this one is a valley fold. Once you then fold it all together, it makes sense. There we go. So that's what your card will look like. There it is. So now what I've done, as I say, I have prepared things ready. I've got, this is from the oh, I can't remember what they're called all the time, Jolly Season Dies, and it says 'tis the season to be jolly. And what I've done, I've actually used some of the multi-purpose adhesive sheets on the back, and I got two together just to make them stand out a little bit more. But it's such a lovely sentiment, and because they are quite fiddly to glue, which is why adhesive sheets are so much easier. Or if you've got a Xyron machine, you could pop it through there just to make it easier for you to stick down on your card. 'Tis the season to be jolly. There we go. So that's the top and the bottom middle section done. I then got Santa, which I have coloured in using the Stampin' Blends, and he is going here, and I'm going to put the pieces, sorry, I'm going to put the, what do you call them, dots, foam dots, so he sticks mainly to this side. Could not think what that was called then. Such a difficult word, isn't it? I'm going to just put them here, just to help myself out. So now I've started making Christmas cards, because obviously us card makers need to start early. I'm so looking forward to getting all the rest of my Christmas stamps out and papers, because even though Stampin' Up retire them, I often hold on to mine for a long time. Then, as you can see, I've stamped and cut out the stockings, and that's going on the centre one. I'm actually going to stick this one down flat, just to make it fold and close a little bit easier. There we go. And then I'm putting this one then, let me just see how it all works together. I'm going to put this on this side here. just check that all folds properly, and there it is. So there's my card. So from the top it looks like that. I can't remember if I cannot remember the name of this fold, but I'm sure it's a triple something. And then you'll see it like that from the front, and then that's it opened up. So just to remind you what we've used, I've used the Jolly Season dies, and it's quite nice that I love the frame, let's say, "'Tis the season to be jolly," but this is another one I love, even though there isn't a stamp to go with it. Father Christmas and the reindeers flying overhead. I like the sentiments on here as well. Love Santa, believe, and may your heart be filled with the love of the season, and may the magic of Christmas reach you this year. So I've used that set there, and I've used the stitch shapes, and the paper is the Perfectly Plaid designer paper in 6x6, which is much more manageable, I think, for card making. So there's my original. As I say, I just think is a little bit too busy. I like it, but it's just not my, I think it's because it's not my normal style. And then this is the second one I've made. So thank you for joining me. I'm hoping now to have a little play with the still scenes one, which makes the snow globes. So I'll be back again soon. Hwyl fawr. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.